No, no, you could call me Sherry. It's okay, or never mind, whatever you want, whatever
You've
you're
already
comfortable.
done that. I'm here with Sherry. 4skully.
Yes, yes, for Scully. All right. I
Yeah.
love you guys. I love all of you, Sun Moon family. Shout out to all of you. I love you.
Yay. I can't see anything. I'm just stuck with floss on the screen. But where are you?
Yeah. I'm just hanging out over in Oregon right now and getting ready to head back to Washington.
Oh yeah, because it's only about six. What is it? It's about 5:30 for you, isn't it?
No, well, let me see here. The correct time. It's 3:30. It's 3:30 my time.
Oh yeah, because it's 8 hours, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah,
Yes. It's okay.
yeah.
How was your day? How's the weather been over there? Because it's very
Cold,
unsettled over here.
cold.
Cold. It's been cold here too. Yes, very cold.
But we've got cloud everywhere. You know, like I don't know. We've got cloud everywhere. It's just cloudy all the time.
Here we've got a little bit of the little bit of the spewish, and we've got the natural clouds. It's like a battle. There's basically that's what I sense in my spirit is a cosmic battle going on. And this place that I'm in, McNary Beach, it's where I dedicated myself to Mother Earth at back in 2004, and it's always been my home. I always feel, a safe. I feel a deep peace when I come here because it's right above McNary Dam, and this is the Columbia River that goes off into the ocean.
Yeah, that's your spot for filming, is it?
Well, I've made some videos from in the past, but they're way a long time ago. It's been several years, but and if the wind wasn't like I had told my friend that called and broke up the call previously, I if it wasn't so windy, I would go out and film. But we've got whitecaps on this river right now. I mean, and the wind is blowing from the north, and the wind never blows from the north
Yeah. What
against the
what
river.
what
I mean,
temperature is it usually for you then?
what was that?
What temperature is it usually for you?
Well, usually right now it could be close to 70, 75, and it's been barely breaking 65, I mean, earlier, I mean, it was down to like 58, close to, and when I woke up in my house, it was down to like, 65 degrees. All through the week, it was been very, very cold, but I still didn't, turn back on my heater or nothing. I just, got through it.
Yeah, it's
65
been
degrees
quite
pretty
it's been
warm.
quite cold here. Just been cold. Spring hasn't really come yet.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I lost a lot of my apple blossoms off of my tree. I had a Granny Smith
Oh
tree. I have
no.
a honey tree, a Honeycrisp tree, a Fuji tree, and two different cherry trees. And I've lost all of the blooms because of all the gusty wind. I mean, it's been bad for the wind. It's horrible.
Well, I hope they have loads of apples and stuff on them.
Yeah, well, we know that the great, spirit's going to prevail for humanity because that it has to. These treacherous, treasonous miscreants have been in power long enough, and the people I mean, we're coming together. We are. I can feel it.
I wish there was
I,
more of them.
yes, I saw many people in our stores in Washington without masks on. I'd never seen that many on Monday ever. I was like blown away. Our Costco has stopped forcing the mask, and then over here in Oregon at the store I was just at, Walmart, there's still people wearing them, but they're not saying, "Do you need a mask? Do you need a mask?" They're just letting people come in, and
Well, yesterday I
and
went
it comments.
shopping and two
What?
irritable people wearing masks got very irritable, and I just thought, ugh, oh, I just want to get out of here. They just got, oh, you're
Right.
standing too close and all this at me. So
Yes. I don't understand how so much how much. I mean, it's literally like the masses have been transplanted in a year and a half. I mean, people. I really truly don't know what it is. If it's got to be a combination of everything: the food, the air, the TV, the nonstop nonsense of it all.
yeah, it's that damn TV.
I just love your videos and everything that you've been bringing out about
Oh.
Tartare and all of the those star forts and stuff. Those are fascinating, and especially that Statue of Liberty thing with the hand and how small and all that. I mean, that just blew me away, Karen. I mean,
What, because you
that's a
thought
very good
because they make it look
put.
like it's so big, you mean?
Well, remember how you people were the way you were talking in the video about there was no way people could get up there and stand at that torch.
Oh, right,
Remember?
that bit, yeah. Well, I mean, a couple of people could, but they'd have had to have this trekky bit up the arm, and then they'd have just walked round and walked off, and they make it look like it's so big, but it isn't, but it is. I don't get it.
Right, right. It's just like those two buildings that came down, and I don't know if you ever did you ever know about Aaron Dover and how he said there was ever never any really real floors in those and that they were built that way and they just looked like they had floors in them. I mean that's an amazing thing in itself, the way that the light would shine through and he did some stuff. I don't know if it's still available for people, others that might have it downloaded, but Aaron Dover,
Mm.
um, it was incredible there was one called No Floors. We Have Explosives. That one was up, but I don't know if they've taken it
Yes, I got
down.
quite into that, but nowadays, if you wanted to look up that day and everything, you can't really find it. It takes to about page 5 before a building goes down. So
Right,
it's quite
right.
difficult to find it now, whereas you used to, just put the word HOAX in and you'd find loads of videos. And you
Yeah,
can't do that anymore. But I think his stuff's still up.
yeah. Sometimes you have to disappear in order to stay alive.
Well, it seems that way, doesn't it? Because most of the actors are playing more than one person, so they do it.
Right.
They're doing
Yes.
it. They're doing it
I
all
mean,
the time.
hey, the other day on the People Magazine. That's the one that everybody needs to try to get that copy of that. This most recent People. It's dated May 24th. They've got Cher on the front, who's really Celine Dion, and there's an old picture of Sonny Bono. I mean Sylvester Stallone
Yeah, I
with
know. That
Celine
blew my
Dion back
mind
then.
when I saw that. I saw it months ago, and I was going, "Oh my God, he's Sylvester Stallone!" Like, no,
That
like,
really is amazing. Hey, that right there. I mean, God, you can see it in his eyes. And see, this is what I did when I was at this store. I picked it up and I said, "Hey, look at the eyes real close." I covered the rest of it, right? I said, "Whose eyes are those? Whose eyes are those?" And the people in line, they were like looking, and I whipped it away. And go, "That's Sylvester Stallone." No, 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 it's not Sonny. Sonny's not dead. He's now pretending to be Sylvester Stallone and a few other people. And look at that face really close. You see? That is Celine Dion. And these people, their eyes popped open, they were not mocking me, and they were like, oh, they could see it. So it's starting to happen. People are starting
and
if
once you
they're got
see
any
it, you can't go back and pretend you didn't. So that's the way it goes for those that have seen it.
right, right. You can't ever go back. Just like when you know that the earth's flat, you can't go back.
No, this crazy world.
It is. I mean, it is it, and you can't and it's so your trust in your heart is the most valuable commodity, so you've got to really meet it out to who you give that trust to. And especially this freak that had my car. I mean, I don't that's such a sore subject with me, but I was talking to Creator and crying out today as I was traveling over to Oregon and just begging him to show me justice. Show me justice, please. All right? And I'm so grateful and happy to say that, you know, I was led to the right people who are going to possibly, and I believe they are, going to get my Monte Carlo, my 1970 Monte Carlo, and restore it like it should have been. This guy destroyed my car, Karen. I mean, he's a sociopathic narcissist, and I know you know about narcissists.
Yes,
And
I do.
this guy is a bastard, a real bastard. And like I was telling my friend, he's so far from professional, he doesn't even know how to spell it. Okay, and I often, wonder,
What did
when he
he?
was standing
What
so
did he do?
smugly
What did he
by
do to
my
your
car,
car then? What did he do?
he said he had ripped my carpet and my seats out and then texted me a picture when I never gave him permission to do that. Okay, that wasn't ever part of the deal. This is out in the middle of a desert dune. He was trying to steal my car. Okay, he was. All right, and I had to go to the sheriff to get him to respond to my text and let me have my car back because he didn't want to. He was really pissed. I've got that video or that audio of him leaving that message. So he's in a lot of trouble. He just doesn't realize how much trouble. I already liened his property. Okay, that lien is never going to come off until he gives me back what he owes me.
Oh, has he still got your car then?
No, I got my car back April 16th. So it's just been a little over a month since I've had my car back, but it's destroyed right now. It's got mice species. It's so horrible. It's horrifying. I mean, I did this interior work myself back in 2009, and I did a lot of the body work and everything, and it's heartbreaking. You know, I've had this car 32 years. 32. I got it in 1989, and it's been my baby. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not very materialistic, but it's just when you ask God or Creator, however you want to choose to look at the source, and you wish for something you never thought you'd get, and then it gets given to you, and then to see what other people do to try to take it from you, it's crazy. You know, it is. I had a couple bad dreams, so bad that I had to get up out of my bed and go and look outside to make sure my car was still sitting there. This car is in high demand. You know, these cars, these 1970 Monte Carlos, they go for about 50 grand if they're done by the right people.
Oh dear, I'm very sorry.
Yeah, and I know I'm sorry I can't give you a hug.
Oh.
I wish we could go tea and I could pet your little doggy and we could go for a walk, hang out, man.
Yeah,
I
Floss
mean,
will come.
really hang out, not just talk about it, you know. God, I wish I could get over there to the UK. You have no idea. I have a couple other friends over there. There's Claire from Twitter and there's Greg from Telegram. You know, Telegram is a really good app. I think it's actually better than, you know, a Twitter. I don't have Twitter in this phone, and I'm not going to put Twitter in the phone because I'm pretty Twittered out, you know.
I
just like
there.
You know, barely learning Telegram. And you can talk. I talked to my friend Greg over in Lancashire?
Lancashire.
I can't pronounce. Yeah, Lancashire. And Greg or Sean, you know Sean, Life in the Mix. He is such a brilliant man. He knows. He knows. If you have never, you know who he is, right? Sean from Life in the Mix.
I don't know if I know him.
He's over there. You've got to check his channel out.
I know. I haven't heard of him.
It's all one word. Life in the Mix, Sean. And he's got some fantastic videos to bring everyone up to speed, like we are already brought up to speed. But you know what I'm saying? He's helping people get their papers correct over there to stand up to these despots.
That's good. I've never heard of him though.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a bit like Amy's in America. Like your friends don't live right next to you, do they?
No. All of my dear friends are seems like in each state, like planted little plants, you know, and mother's got to have her babies in each state so that, you know, we're like the last bastion, you know, we're helping the trees and the seas and sharing with each other, you know, the love, because that's what's holding her together right now, you know, it's the love of mother that is keeping her going, you know. And I did notice that this year, like I'm looking at this one tree and it looks greener than I've ever seen it, but there's also trees that aren't as green, and it hurts me, it breaks my heart.
Oh yeah, you went to hug some trees, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I saw that video.
Yeah. In fact, I need to get back over to that one beautiful girl. You know, I could feel her. She's calling me. She remembers me running around when I was little around her roots.
Oh, I like trees.
Yes. And there's a friend of mine, Stacy, Sugar Seas. That's her channel. Sugar Seas all together. Sugar, the word sugar, and then SEAS. and she made a video. You should see it. She's got the orbs and all that going on, and not only that, but she's got a video that has this I don't know, demonic entity, whatever, spinning. It's the same one I did a short video on. I only got a still shot of it though, Karen. It was totally by accident that I got this still shot of it. It was over the back hill of my home where I live at. And there was a weird energy. It was just a funky, bad, you know what I'm talking about, energy that's just like, ugh. So I had texted my friend Cindy down in Utah, and I said, "What's your weather like, man? What is it doing?" And she said, "Oh, it looks kind of stormy here." And then I text her back saying, "It's kind of stormy, strange here, just really, And she goes, "Can you take a picture of it?" So I said, "Well, all right." So I walked over to my kitchen window and I snapped a picture and sent it to her. And then a few minutes later, she goes, "What's that?" And I was just about ready to push, delete. She goes, "What's that thing in it?" And I'm like, "What?" And I started looking like, oh, and it looks like two wheels in the sky, a white device. And Stacy at Sugar Seas has got it going. I mean, for 4 or 5 minutes long, you can see the same device. She filmed it.
Oh.
It's called that one's called "This Is Not Geoengineering," and I just couldn't believe it when I saw that video. It's like, oh, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's all over. And I think it's these things that get up in the sky and they just lock in and they drive the winds. They're like wind machines, portable wind machines that fly around.
Really? Oh, golly. Great. Another device for them to play games with us.
They like to do that, that's
But I
for
don't
sure.
think people realise how close the clouds are.
No, they don't.
I mean, have you ever heard of Stan Smith?
Yeah, and I heard you mention him before. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
I
did
haven't.
die a few months ago. We don't know. I don't know what happened to him, but
Oh,
he was only in his 30s. But he used to put the cameras on his roof, in his roof, and then he used to get the 360 kind of thing. And the clouds are just so close.
they are. And the sun is too, yes.
Yes,
And
and the sun.
yeah, we know that it's not 93 miles. I can't believe people, I feel stupid for as long, I was really all into the sci-fi and all this, out there. And I can remember being all excited to go see Total Recall. And,
Well, actually, that's what
every,
we're living in. Is that film? We're like people on
it
Mars.
is. Yes, I agree. I
I've
agree
ne- There
100%.
are other films. There's the Truman Family. There's loads of other films. But when I think of Total Recall, I think we know the baddies are on the television, like in that film, and in a sense, everybody's feeling that they're going to get their life threatened and their oxygen and the whole thing, and that's that film.
It is what's going on because they're pushing for these different measures. And it's like, how far do we got to go, guys, before, you realize that I mean, these people running out and building these houses that they put bricks all around them, and they don't realize they are all happy. Oh, yes, look at our new home. But they don't realize how fast they could brick in a gate and lock them in there. And they've already bought this place that they're already inside a prison. These subdivisions is what they call them, subdivision. I mean, they play on words, and it's just like, okay, in the word of God, they say, well, the seed gets planted, but the devil cometh immediately and taketh away the word. And see, that's so true. And he's perverted it and reversed it. I mean, words aren't what we thought they meant ever.
No. Even like the word government.
Right.
I just don't think I suppose what it is most people just want an easy life, don't they? And they don't want all the hassle. Whereas when you wake up, then, I don't know, we might look quite intense, but we're desperately trying to tell people. My own children don't want to listen. My family don't want to listen. My friends don't care. People just don't care. People I've been friends with for years, like my family. They trusted you to be their daughter, their mother, or whatever it was, but now they don't trust you at all.
Right. My daughter's abandoned me too. So, I mean, my daughter, I don't think that I'll ever see her again. It really breaks my heart.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mine's
but if
not
she's
that
gonna
bad,
treat
but
me like her
they have
dad,
done it to me, my
yeah,
children. They've done it to me.
yeah.
Broken my
Well,
heart.
Yes, yes. I mean, I would have done, I mean, the last time I seen my daughter, was like a few days, about a week before my birthday. And then I seen her on my birthday, and her then current boyfriend couldn't get out of the restaurant fast enough. And that was my birthday. And she didn't care. And then I think that's pretty much the last time I saw her. In fact,
I think
yeah.
that's it. They just don't
Yep.
care. Well, she's got a boyfriend, doesn't she? So she doesn't care.
Well, she's only had two children now, and I don't really want to get all up into that. But I mean, she's down in Las Vegas. She is on her own. If she wants to run after Marilyn Manson and believe in all that and tell me she doesn't believe in anything of the truth that I try to teach her, then that's on her. I can't. I mean, I don't want to be abused. I mean, I've had enough. I'm a good-hearted, loving lady, and I just like you. We got to protect who we let into our boundaries. We can't have narcissists bouncing in and out.
Well, what I see is that, because obviously it happened via a boyfriend, but it's not just the boyfriend, it's my mum and dad, it's my family, it's just my friends, it's the person across the road, it's my neighbour. They're all the same.
Agreed. Yeah.
But then they watch the television, don't they? And we don't.
Right. Yeah. Or they listen to the prompts in the radio,
Mm.
or those god awful audios that they've been putting out over the PA system in the shopping centers. It's now 3 o'clock. Time to clean and sanitize, and you are to wear a mask. What else are they playing subliminally that you can't hear? You will obey. You will listen to everything we say. We are your overlords.
Yeah, it's horrible though, isn't it? That people, talk about dividing people, this whole thing. You're either in or you're out, and that's it.
Yep. It's
We thought, waking up was the worst thing that was going to happen, but it isn't.
no,
Oh, I
it's
just want it to
dealing with
stop.
all
I
these
want it to
people.
go away and not come back.
I watched them murder my mom, pretty much in the hospital. I mean, even though we had our differences, I thank God that I actually had a chance to have closure with her. I spent the last Mother's Day of her being here on Earth with her, even though she got kind of cranky with me and when I mentioned my aunt, but my aunt's a lost cause as well. Don't care if I ever see her, and I don't even need to know when she dies. That's how bad it is. But anyway, my mom, they feel, she got into a life care place because she just, I don't know what was going on with her in that way in her mental state, why she thought she needed to be in one of those homes. But anyway, because I would have taken care of her if she'd have let me, but she didn't want me to. And so anyway, basically they started drugging her, giving her all kinds of pills. That's why they don't want to give me her medical records, because I wanted her medical records. Well, her kidneys started to shut down, which caused her to fall, which I thought at first they let her fall on purpose. Then it could be 50-50 in that. They'll never tell. And I mean, they just basically overdose. You know what I mean? They euthanized her. They didn't. You get a certain age, and because of these trusts that are on everybody, they start to go after people after they're like 70 years old. That you become a target automatically. That's what I believe anyway.
Oh,
And these trusts are real. They are not a fabrication. The upper and lowercase spelling of your name does matter, regardless. And I know that they exist because of a situation I
what does that
had
mean then,
with,
by the way?
huh?
What does that mean then?
Well, what part are you
You said
talking
with
about?
capitals or something. What do you mean?
Well, when your name is all in upper and lower or just all caps, it's what's called an epitaph. When you look up what the definition of an epitaph is, it's a marker for a gravestone. And I happened to see when I went to get an ID and surrender the professional driver's license, because they want you to continue to be a driver no matter what, because it's a commercial term. So when I was standing there at the Oregon Department of Motor Vehicles, and my name was on the screen, are you ready for this? And I am not exaggerating. It's exactly what I saw. They have me in the computer as deceased, in all
Oh,
caps name, deceased. Yes, I saw that. And then the lady got all shook up that I seen it. And she was trying to say, no, no, see over here, blah, blah, blah. Well, see, it's just like, oh, no, no, look over here. Don't look at that. That's what she was trying to do. But that's real. The all caps name, if you accept it, you're accepting that you're dead. You're not alive. That's why when you go into court under that all caps name, the judge won't hear you because you're looked on as dead. And that's why, especially when you hire an attorney, you're saying that you're mentally incompetent and cannot handle your own affairs. And they're all private. What is it? Private. What was that term I heard the other day when I was listening to somebody in a call? Private membership club. That's what it stands for. So these bar people are in a private membership club, and you can't use their stuff. You start trying to talk and use their legal jargon. It's all copyrighted. You can get into trouble for it. But the one thing that they can't stop is the Magna Carta. And that predates all their statutes, all their codes, and all their private membership clubs. So you gotta assert your liberties under the Magna Carta. That's what I did. But getting back to what I said about the trust being real. Now, at the Home Depot, I decided to get a lawnmower, a riding lawnmower, and it was a piece of junk. And I ended up going back to them, to Home Depot. Well, then I had made payments while it was at the repair shop because right away it only lasted 2 times, and then they had to come and pick it up. And because it was under service, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? They came and took it and tried to repair it. But then I thought, you know what? I don't need this. This thing's a piece of junk. It's too much money. So I had my neighbor help me take it back. Well, when I took it back, they didn't give me my refund of the couple of payments that I made while it was at the shop. And then the lady said, well, you'll get your refund check in the mail. I'm like, oh, okay, because normally they have issued, a refund right then and there. And then anyway, so
when did this happen then? Did it happen in the lockdown?
What did it happen? No, this was back in 2017, 2018.
Right.
And so then anyway, I waited for the check, and the check showed up, and then all of a sudden, I got a check from the Federal Reserve where I have an account. Yeah. And that's all I really want to say about that right now. I shouldn't say too much more. But I really am glad we got to talk. I mean, I'll maybe say a little bit more about that in another time. But
yeah, and it was quite traumatic getting to talk to each other, wasn't it? Oh God.
It was very, very traumatic.
Yeah, what it was saying to me was, although I'm on it, I can't see you at all. It's like you're not there, but you're there because the only person on here is me. But but you're there. But it kept saying this isn't available anymore. Hangouts isn't available anymore because they are changing it over to this other thing. And it looks like we're on the other thing, but I can't see you at all.
Wow, that's crazy.
I did see you when we first came on, and then my volume went, and it's just, the whole thing was just, anyway, we did it. We got to speak to each other.
Yeah, the reason why I was getting kind of a little bit nervous is that while I started talking about that stuff, the LEO was coming in, the local LEO, and I don't really need any trouble. I'm safe. I'm not, going to be hurting anybody. I don't carry weapons. I'm a good girl. I just want to be left alone, just like everybody does. I just came here to be at peace with everyone, and I don't need anybody trying to cause trouble for me, make up stories and stuff.
But it's all right.
What was that?
It's all right for you, though.
Yeah. It looks like that individual did cruise on out, so I'm feeling a little bit more safe now. But
do you want to talk for a little bit more? We've been going for half an hour now. Do you want to talk for a little bit more?
Well, how about you? I mean, I really should try to get on home. I would like to talk when I at another time.
It's been very nice talking to you. This is the longest chat we've had.
Yes, yes. Instead of just the messaging back and forth.
Yeah. Well, we can end
Well,
it
you
now.
take
Half an
care.
hour's good anyway. It's good to catch up with. It's really nice to talk to somebody that comes on our channel.
Yeah, yeah, and I really do care about you,
Yeah, I like
Karen.
that video
I
you
care
did when you were
about
reading all
the
that.
others that watch your videos too. I do. I care about people in general. That's why, you do what you do and I do what I do. We try to, help as best we can. We can't help it if they don't accept it. I guess that's on them. Then they'll have to deal with things the way they are for them at that time.
I like that video you did where you're reading through all those documents and basically you were trying to say that they're already stating that they're going to use your information and people just don't
That's what's
realise.
going on. That's what's going on. 100%. That's what's going on. I had to share that with somebody else today because, somebody's trying to steal from her. And I gave her the utility, the GMEI utility, which is used globally to warehouse all of us as cattle. That's what's going on. And I mean, people, that listen to this, I mean, even if you're just checking by and you've never been to the Sun and Moon family, you don't have any idea. You really are traded like cattle. My mother, her driver's license, when I put it in the utility, she has over 2,000 trusts just under her driver's license number. Now, everybody's driver's license number is unique. Nobody else has it but you. Now, it's not just one of those things and it just looks similar. No, 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 no. And I will tell you that those trusts are literally around the earth. Okay? I mean, Luxembourg, you name it.
Yeah, even when you
They're
take a mortgage out, they take a life cover out on you that when you die, they get money there.
That's right. That's right. In fact, I took my birth certificate into my credit union because I had been listening to Patrick Devine, and some of what Patrick says is right. And then, but when you start to figure things out, they change things because they have to, like, it's almost like in the Matrix, they have to change the way out because they don't want you to get out. And so anyway, I took in the birth certificate and I tried to cash it in like Patrick was talking about. Of course, they pretended not to know what that is and what's going on. But the one lady that I have been dealing with at that particular branch had been always kind to me, and so she, checked it out. But she said she was going to look into it. So she took and went into Fidelity. Okay, she went because they check things out. So see, this is another proof that they do know what they're doing and they just couldn't let me get through. But basically, she punched up Fidelity, and she ran my certificate issued number. And are you ready? It came back at like 91, lots of zeros, 90, and it's matured. So and that's not the original. Okay, the original. This is a copy of it. So what they do is they put a zero in it. And then when I went to go up to the Secretary of State's office to have it authenticated, they actually re-aged it. And I didn't catch it at the time because I was just new to it back 2 years ago. And then I realized, oh my God, they re-put it out there with a new date. These guys are serial career criminals. Serial career criminals is what I said. And not only that, but Russell Trust is set up right next to the Secretary of State's Corporations Division in Olympia. And I went into Russell Trust in Seattle with my birth certificate and said, here I am. I'm ready to cash this baby in. You guys have got a trust illegally on me and I want to collect on it. And they were freaking out. I went over there twice and then they got their registered agent to send me something because they were thinking that I was going to do something legally or anything. Well, I'm not. I'm just going to, do what I need to do. I can't say too much now, but I'm getting ready to start focusing in on them again. The one thing as far as another victory, and I shared this with Lavana, but we haven't gotten back to talking yet. But I'm really wanting to talk with her again when she gets a chance, because I know she's really busy. But I filed a $57 million lien against state of Washington Employment Security Department because they were trying to, act as a debt collector for something that the all caps name the deceased person, doesn't know. And I kept on trying to tell them, hey, where's the contract with that entity's signature on it that you keep sending to me? You need to produce it under the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. Do it. Because if you don't, you're acting like a debt collector. I'll take you into federal court. I've done it before and I'll do it again. And then they kept on ignoring and sending the notices. Well, then I'd had enough, and I just finally just put refused and told the mail people, send that back up there to them, because I had just got done sending them a certified letter with all of my what Sean would say corrected status, okay, letting them know. And then I filed the lien on Monday, April 5th, and the very next day they removed 2 different warrants. They had one in each county in their execution docket. Now, you see, they lie about that too. Now, when you think of the word execution, what's that mean? You're dead. So the state of Washington Employment Security Department put 2 warrants in an execution docket without even noticing me. So when they didn't notice me about this, and this happened several years back, so that is all the evidence I need to accept the fact that, yes, they think I'm dead. That thing I saw in the Oregon computer is true, and they've been acting like I've been dead all along. So,
terrible.
That's just crazy, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
What else would you put someone's name in an execution docket? An execution means executes. That means I get to declare, since they've done it, that, I don't want to say my full name over the air, but I have the right to declare that entity is legally dead, because I've got the proof now that they put it in an execution docket. Rebut it. I'm going to make up papers and say, rebut it, baby. You did this. You did it without notice to the living. And you think I'm going to be a trustee or a surety for your corporate entity that you created through fraud? Forget about it. You guys are all bankrupt, and they're trading it on the one thing that they don't have, and it's our energy. That's what it is. They're trading on people's energy.
Or they're not expecting people to be intelligent and work it out.
Right. And it'd be so great if you could get a chance to chat with Romley. Do you know who Romley is?
No,
Romley
I'm not
Stewart?
very good at all the people you know. No.
Well, the Justinian Deception, that's his channel.
Oh, right.
YouTube.
I think he's been coming on my channel on Sun and Moon a bit, I think.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, Romley has to be careful. I mean, they are. I started crying when I came across his videos back in 2019, and I watched them beat him. Oh my God. They hurt him bad, and now his friend Rowan is locked back up again. They got him somehow again, and that's the thing. They'll use a psych ward or a jail. They really don't care. Any way to break the spirit is what they'll do.
Yeah, that's kind of like Lavana as well, isn't it? At the moment.
Right. Poor sister. I mean, when this thing got going against her over, when I first found out about her many months ago, I felt so bad for her. Oh my God. Oh, I just so wanted to hold her and hug her and say, sister, I'm here for you. I told her, you know what? If I was in Hawaii, I'd be there at your hearing. I would.
Yes, I don't know what to say about all that.
They come after us women because they know we hold the spark. Without us, there's no life.
Well, if you threaten to put someone in prison or in jail or whatever it is, then, like you said, it's there to break the spirit.
Right. Yep, exactly. Because they want that signature.
They want you to be afraid.
well, yeah, and this is the thing. I'm prepared. I'm not saying that I want it to happen to me, but you know what? Seriously, Karen, I'm ready to die for what I believe in, and I will not live in a slavery system. Okay, and I'm not going to do anything violent or anything, but I'm not. If they do decide to kidnap me, put me in jail, they will not get a signature, and I will not eat their poisonous food. And I will literally, if they don't decide to let me out, I'll die in there because that's the way it's going to be. I'm not surrendering. I can't do it.
Oh, don't mess with you
They
then.
killed my dad. They ran my dad down. He died a week after I was born. He hit a light pole. They were chasing him. That's what my friend's dad told me because he knew. Because my dad actually at that time, and my dad was carrying on. I'm not really sure that I'd be happy with him if he was still alive, depending on how he turned out. But he was only 21, 22 years old. But he was seeing uh, this gal, and my mom had just had me. So things weren't really that great. But so they chased him down because they were after him. That's what he said. They lost control of his bike and hit a light pole.
Oh, I'm
So it's in
sorry.
the blood. It's in the blood. You know they hunt us down. The ones that have got the strongest spirit, they're after us because it's light against dark.
They don't want anybody to be awake, do they?
No, fluoride and the vaccines and oh my God, the vaccines. That's the horriblest thing. I
Yeah,
mean,
we can't say very much about that though.
yeah. Right. The shots or those things that they like to poke us with. How about that? The pokey stick. Um, no, those are bad.
Well, not much in life is good, is it?
There is,
There is, but
but
it's hard to
they've
find at
taken
the moment or
they've
be able to
taken
do.
yeah. They don't want us to notice the goodness. They want us to notice them and keep
They
our
want us to be
eyes
totally
focused on
stressed
them.
out.
Yes, right.
I mean, all I can advise is just turn the television off and get on with your life.
Yes, exactly it. That's the only time that the TV is even plugged in is if I wanted to watch something from the past. But how can you watch those movies anymore when you know what's going on? Now,
I
this is the one thing I
know.
need.
And I just see that the Bionic Man is Elvis Presley.
Oh yeah, right. It's just so crazy how they
It's
do these. And there was no H. I can't say the whole name, but there was no H because he was played by that. What is that? Saint Mary's. What was that? Crosby, Bing Crosby. Yeah. Anyway,
oh
but
yes,
but
yes. Bing Crosby played him.
and I always wondered what that cold look was in his eyes, and then when I came across that channel, I was like, wow.
Well, God, he played
Oh,
loads of people. It's like, oh my God, look at it. Not only are they actors and they say that they're playing in these films, there are about 20 other people and they're all doing films and programs and they've got to be all them and go to. I just don't know how they do it. That's why I think that
well,
most of
check
them
it
are
out.
cartoons,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Okay, okay. Now this movie, The Postman, is back from 1998. Kevin Costner. I think that you should probably check it out and rewatch it because I just recently rewatched it and it's kind of what's going on right now too here in America. And I watched the credits roll clear to the end for the first time and Kevin Costner actually had some of his children in that movie over 20 years ago. So that means I mean, who is Kevin Costner really?
Mm.
Now, I don't know that I'm going to go off and agree that he's Robin Williams. That's a bit much of a stretch. Harrison Ford, I don't
No, I
know.
can't remember which one he is now because I've done so many videos, but he's in that bit
Right.
with Tom Cruise and all that, like Matt Damon and,
Yeah.
they're
Well, what
all.
about Tom Cruise doing that press release? Now, I've got a short one on that, and I cut and pasted that because. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Apologize. So basically, um, you know, this thing with him doing the live press for that one thing that happened in Colorado. I don't want to say the name, but like what is that, Aria Borealis, but it's really Aurea, whatever, Aria, over there in that one state, Colorado. But so the guy got really shook up at me because he wanted me to send, and I'm trying to talk in code a little bit because you'll know who I'm talking about, but he was so angry at me for not sending him his own video. And because it got taken down, it's not my fault that he didn't remember where he cut it in and put it in there at the very end, but it shows him doing a live press conference, Tom Cruise. And everybody that looked at my video, anyone that's watched any of his movies, can hear and know that that is really Tom Cruise. He really did do that, and it wasn't a movie. And they do this all the time. They're the ones that are running the news shows as well. Just like that was the whole purpose of, them, back in the day when they took control. I mean, some of the most valuable things are those comments over at Greg's channel. You know what I mean? Reading what he says.
Just sounds such a nightmare, doesn't it?
I wonder who really played Freddy Krueger. Now that you say that, nightmare, and it popped into my mind, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, it's really hard because you just said that Cher was Sion. I can't say her name now. I can't say her name.
Dion, yeah.
Yeah, her. So it's all a bit bananas. It's all bananas.
When you think, yeah, and when they start talking about, oh well, you defrauded this or you defrauded that. No. We haven't defrauded anybody of anything. What we've been defrauded on is the truth. The whole complete truth about what is really going on here in this place. Matrix, whatever this place is, because it is really getting awfully crazy. It is hard to believe. I mean, I never 30 years ago dreamed that I'd see the things that I'm seeing right now.
Yeah. Our lives weren't like that then, were they? What were we watching 30 years ago? Charlie's Angels or something?
Well, longer than that for me, because I just turned 57. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I always wondered why there was something weird looking about that Farrah Fawcett. I never.
Oh dear.
All three of them. My God, all three of them. And what about Elton John's Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy? What was he really trying to tell us back then?
I don't know if they're trying to tell us anything somehow. I think because they're part of the system. So whatever they're telling you is just, maybe it gives you an idea, but you're never going to get to the end of it because they're playing the game.
Right. Exactly.
It's a bit weird to think that, our royal family are just actors.
It is, isn't it? They want everyone to be enamored to them. And they're so, I mean, well, so what about Diana?
Actress.
Who is that? I mean, really? Is Diana a man or a woman? I mean, and that to me sounds kind of sad to have to say that, because I always, when I was in high school, when she married Charles, and I remember it was a big to-do. I mean, they were like even letting us watch it in school, which I didn't understand why, but I do now, because America is still part of Britain. We are not separate.
Yes, you're under the corporation, and the Queen owns it.
That's right. And it's just a wow. Okay, whoa.
Especially as in the TV world, it's big America, and you're much bigger than us. It's all bananas, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm running out of words because when I usually find these bits of things about things, it's about 2 or 3 in the morning, and I'm like, oh my God! But in reality,
that's how spirit works. It's when it's the quietest time, and it's the stillest, and earth and sky can speak to our hearts. That's when we hear those things.
Mm. Yes. Well, I hope, looking out there, it's all grey and dark. I just hope that, hang on, it's foggy. Clouds look really low. Yeah, it's very cloudy out there.
The sun coming up?
No, it's not that late. Early. It's only midnight here, but it's just grey and the clouds
Mhm.
are really close. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I do. I just feel for everybody who's woken up because we've got nowhere really to go, and just wish it would all stop and they all went to prison.
Yeah, or they just get vacuumed off the earth like it should be, and they just go into
Or we go. That's it. You're all going in the rockets.
send them off into their la la land space, right?
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't. They just blow up and go, and then we won't see them again.
The dematerialized, see, that's not violent. That's not violent at all. They
They
just
should be
lose their
shackled,
ability
taken
to
through the street,
materialize.
so everybody can throw things at them.
Yeah, a piece of popcorn, because the popcorn ain't no good.
No. Do you want to carry on for a bit more? We've been going for 50 minutes now.
I really should get going. I think it's time.
Well, if
We
we
probably need
say
to.
goodbye for the recording, right? But I'll say goodbye to you afterwards. So don't hang up when I say goodbye. We're just saying
Okay,
goodbye. But
okay,
they like us saying goodbye, and then we'll say goodbye afterwards. But it's been
okay.
great. It's been great chatting. Thank you so much for explaining things
Yeah,
to us.
yes. Yeah, look forward to it again sometime. Sure.
Yeah, now we can. Now we've got on to eat with each other. On the